Have you ever considered how the words you hear daily can profoundly reshape your confidence and outlook? Stoic quotes aren't merely affirmations. They are gateways to profound wisdom and a resilient mindset, a fact now supported by modern science. Today, we're going to explore how these powerful statements stand apart from typical affirmations, tapping deeply into our subconscious. Studies in psychology show that focused philosophical affirmations like those from Stoicism have a unique ability to rewire our thought patterns, fostering resilience and self-confidence. These quotes offer a blend of practical wisdom and insightful reflection, making them an ultimate tool for those seeking to incorporate Stoic principles into their daily lives. Join me in this journey as we rewire our brains for success and resilience. Let's start with Marcus Aurelius, who said, "The best revenge is to be unlike him who performed the injustice." You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this and you will find strength. Very little is needed to make a happy life. It is all within yourself, in your way of thinking. Waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be. Be one. It is not death that a man should fear, but he should fear never beginning to live. The soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts. Our life is what our thoughts make it. Accept the things to which fate binds you, and love the people with whom fate brings you together. But do so with all your heart. The universe is change, our life is what our thoughts make it. When you arise in the morning, think of what a precious privilege it is to be alive, to breathe, to think, to enjoy, to love. The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts. When you arise in the morning, think of what a privilege it is to be alive, to think, to enjoy, to love. Everything we hear is an opinion, not a fact. Everything we see is a perspective, not the truth. The best revenge is not to be like your enemy. You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. Dwell on the beauty of life. Watch the stars and see yourself running with them. The soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts. Reject your sense of injury, and the injury itself disappears. It is not death that a man should fear, but he should fear never beginning to live. Accept whatever comes to you woven in the pattern of your destiny, for what could more aptly fit your needs? Seneca said, "Life is like a play. It's not the length, but the excellence of the acting that matters. It is not the man who has too little, but the man who craves more that is poor." We suffer more often in imagination than in reality. True happiness is to enjoy the present without anxious dependence upon the future. He who fears death will never do anything worth of a man who is alive. The whole future lies in uncertainty. Live immediately. It is not because things are difficult that we do not dare. It is because we do not dare that they are difficult. As long as you live, keep learning how to live. Luck is what happens when preparation meets opportunity. No man was ever wise by chance. Difficulties strengthen the mind as labor does the body. Anger, if not restrained, is frequently more hurtful to us than the injury that provokes it. The time will come when diligent research over long periods will bring to light things which now lie hidden. A gift consists not in what is done or given, but in the intention of the giver or doer. He suffers more than necessary who suffers before it is necessary. If you wish to be loved, love. Associate with people who are likely to improve you. We are more often frightened than hurt, and we suffer more from imagination than from reality. To be everywhere is to be nowhere. There is no easy way from the earth to the stars, Epictetus said. We have 2 ears and 1 mouth so that we can listen twice as much as we speak. It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. Don't explain your philosophy, embody it. Men are disturbed not by things, but by the view which they take of them. First say to yourself what you would be, and then do what you have to do. He who fears death will never do anything worth of a living man. Wealth consists not in having great possessions, but in having few wants. It is impossible for a man to learn what he thinks he already knows. Only the educated are free. If you want to improve, be content to be thought foolish and stupid. Freedom is the only worthy goal in life. It is won by disregarding things that lie beyond our control. Circumstances don't make the man, they only reveal him to himself. You become what you give your attention to. Don't seek to have events happen as you wish, but wish them to happen as they do happen, and your life will go well. If you wish to be a writer, write. There is only one way to happiness, and that is to cease worrying about things which are beyond the power of our will. Difficulties are things that show a person what they are. No man is free who is not master of himself. It's not the events of our lives that shape us, but our beliefs as to what those events mean. Ask yourself at every moment, is this necessary? Zeno of Citium said. Well-being is realized by small steps, but is truly no small thing. The goal of life is living in agreement with nature. Fate is the friend of the good, the guide of the wise, the tyrant of the foolish, and the enemy of the bad. Happiness is a good flow of life. Man conquers the world by conquering himself. No evil is honorable, but death is honorable, therefore death is not evil. Better to trip with the feet than with the tongue. All the good are friends of one another. We have 2 ears and 1 mouth, so we should listen more than we say. The reason why we have 2 ears and only 1 mouth is that we may listen the more and talk the less. Love is a god who cooperates in securing the safety of the city. A bad feeling is a commotion of the mind repugnant to reason and against nature. Prosperity depends more on wanting what you have than having what you want. Beauty is the agreement of all parts proportionately so that there may be nothing either superfluous or lacking. No matter how many possessions you have, if you are not independent, you are not rich. Freedom is secured not by the fulfilling of one's desires, but by the removal of desire. The wise man regards wealth as a slave, the fool regards it as a master.
In the art of living, man is both the artist and the subject of his art.
The most necessary part of learning is unlearning our errors. Musonius Rufus said, "It is more necessary to heal the soul than the body, for to die is better than to live a bad life." Virtue is the same in a man as in a woman.
We should measure wealth not by the things we have, but by the things we can do without.
The wise man is content with everything, yet desires nothing superfluous. Labor is the food of the virtuous. It sustains the spirit as food sustains the body. To become educated is to become capable of living justly and of dying well. Suffering is a great teacher. Through hardship we grow wise. We must exercise our minds as we exercise our bodies. He who is dissatisfied with his lot in life is suffering from a disease of the mind. The best training is to exercise oneself in practical and theoretical wisdom. Simplicity is the light by which we discern our path in life. Justice is more powerful than gold and silver. Wisdom is the highest form of wealth. A good man is not just an educated man, but a man of noble character. The wise man does not grieve that he is poor, but that he is not virtuous. True education consists in learning to desire what is good. He who trains his body but not his soul is like a man who only sharpens his sword on one side. The most important part of learning is to unlearn our errors. One should not be angry with people for making mistakes, but for being unwilling to correct them. The body is the servant of the soul. A well-trained body obeys the soul willingly. Chrysippus said, "A philosopher's school is a hospital. You should leave feeling pain, not pleasure. When a dog is tied to a cart, if it wants to follow, it is pulled and follows, making its spontaneous act coincide with necessity. But if it does not follow, it will be compelled in any case. To live according to virtue is to live according to one's experience of the actual course of nature. The universe itself is God and the universal outpouring of its soul. If you wish to be a writer, write. Every misfortune should crash upon your strong mind. No man can be free under the mastery of desire. We are are not given knowledge for the sake of knowledge, but knowledge for the sake of developing a good and virtuous character. The wise man is sufficient unto himself for a happy existence, but not just for existence. Virtue consists in a will that is in agreement with nature. The philosopher says nothing to the crowd, but only in his own school and to his own students. Pleasure is not a good, but the prudent man can use it well. It is the nature of the wise to resist pleasures, but the foolish to be a slave to them. Fate leads the willing and drags along the reluctant. A person's character is their fate. The path of virtue is a path of moderation in avoiding the extremes of excess and deficiency. One cannot step twice in the same river. A great mind becomes a great fortune. The soul, like the body, accepts by practice whatever habit one wishes it to contact. Understanding is the knowledge of the rational soul. Heraclitus said, "No man ever steps in the same river twice, for it's not the same river, and he's not the same man. The only constant in life is change. Character is destiny. Nature loves to hide. The path up and down is one and the same. The soul is dyed the color of its thoughts. Eyes are more accurate witnesses than ears. Much learning does not teach understanding. The best people renounce all for one thing, the eternal glory of mortals, but most people stuff themselves like cattle. Wisdom is to speak the truth and act in keeping with its nature.
A hidden connection is stronger than an obvious one.
The way up and the way down are one and the same. All things come into being by conflict of opposites. To God, everything is beautiful, good, and just. Humans, however, think some things are unjust and others just. The sun is new each day. Time is a game played beautifully by children. You could not discover the limits of the soul, even if you traveled every road to do so. Such is the depth of its meaning. Opposition brings concord. Out of discord comes the fairest harmony. It is harder to fight against pleasure than against anger. The universe, which is the same for all, has not been made by any god or man, but it always has been, is, and will be an ever-living fire, kindling itself by regular measures and going out by regular measures.